Good evening everyone and welcome to FailCraft Casts. I'm Hammy, it's great to have you this evening, and without further ado we are going to be jumping in to just unbox the Child of Light Deluxe Edition. So let's jump straight on in. Child of Light, for those of you who are not familiar, is a sort of RPG light in some ways, but a very beautiful looking RPG from Ubisoft. It is made with the Uplay engine. For those of you who are not quite so au fait with that, it is responsible for things such as Rayman Origins, the very beautiful and fun Rayman Origins that you may have seen recently on Wii U, Vita and such. And it's got a bit of a creative history in it. It's got quite a chunk of the team for gameplay and the creative director from Far Cry 3. So looking at this sort of cartoonish art, why should someone from Far Cry 3 be working on this? It's a really beautiful looking adventure. I will try and zoom in just a bit. We're just experimenting a bit with the webcam here, so forgive the focus. But you should absolutely Google and take a look at this. Adventure-wise, it's got RPG elements. It's very Studio Ghibli-esque in terms of, if you've seen My Neighbor Totoro or any of the sort of newer Ghibli films, Howl's Moving Castle, Spirited Away. Really beautiful, cartoony, cel-shaded aesthetic. And really, you are on a mission to save your kingdom and defeat the Dark Queen. So we're actually going to do a video of gameplay totally separately to this, so keep an eye out for that on youtube.com/FailCraftCasts. But we're going to jump into this Deluxe Edition box. So as you can see on the back there, if I just zoom in just a little, you can slightly fuzzily, we'll just wait for the focus, you can see that we're going to take a quick look at this poster here, A2, so nice and big, the exclusive keyring. You can also see an art book here as well, and then the exclusive in-game content. You've got the Golem pack and then the Dark Aurora pack too. So a 7+ game, and we will just, here's one we made earlier, and scrape our way across these oh so awkward plastic bits into the box. There we go. I can feel the cringes as some of you see that being ripped open. So let's, more delicately than I open the box, slide that away. This is the PC version we're unboxing. You can of course download this on Steam, you can get it from Uplay, so there are a few different options if you actually want to buy it up. So what have we got first? Let's go straight in for the money. Got a beautiful poster here. Now, given that this is the first time I'm doing an unboxing on my desk, my room is a little bit limited, so it might be slightly challenging for me to show this off in all this glory. But effectively what we've got here is, I believe, an A2 poster, beautifully illustrated, quite hauntingly illustrated as well. The light levels aren't fantastic here, so I do forgive me for that, but this is actually quite a dark looking poster. The colour is very dark but very vibrant in terms of the tone. And if we just unfold this a bit further, you can see Aurora, I believe, in all of her glory, but a slightly sinister looking Aurora. It's more of a dark Aurora really than anything else. There we have it. A Child of Light surrounded by dark blades and very dark looking monsters and spirits. There do seem to be some sort of slightly jollier characters here. You can see this Jester character in the short bit of gameplay that I've seen. That Jester comes forward, and sort of a Ruby Cheap style character for those of you who are familiar with the Chronicles of Narnia. And some generally more friendly people who seem to be coming to our heroine Aurora's aid there. So first up in your Deluxe Edition, you've got that rather nice poster. I'll take some photos and stick them on a blog article. Sorry I can't do that justice in terms of the light, but a lovely bit of art to stick on your wall. Next up, you've got a Child of Light art book. So Ubisoft actually, even since the Assassin's Creed games, if you've ever seen any of the Assassin's Creed pre-order art books sort of right back over the last 3-4 years of the franchise, they really do some nice art books. Now this isn't a hardback book, you can probably just see that it's a card. It's got a nice feel to it, got a nice texture on the top as well, so by no means something cheap, but feels very nice. So let's just jump in, have a look at what we've got. So we've got the Aurora art there. You may have seen that on some of the desktop wallpapers and similar assets that Ubi have released around this game. So we've got Aurora, friends, enemies and environments. No, it's a nice little extra. And remember, of course, this is sort of a PDLC style game. The UK price point is around about £11 on PC. I think it's similar on Steam, so translate that into your local currency in dollars or euros if you're joining us from elsewhere. But from the reviews I've seen also, probably about 10-11 hours of gameplay, so looking forward to getting stuck into it myself and seeing if that's the case or not. But £1 an hour of gameplay, I'm pretty happy with that, and you get all these nice bits in this edition as well. So we've got some nice pictures of Aurora there, happy and sad, and you can obviously see your little fireball friend here, who we'll go and have a look at in the keyring. And that's actually a slightly more grown-up looking Aurora we've got in that image. I'm just going to tilt it a little bit and let the camera focus so you can see. I am aware that our camera is a little bit on the fuzzy side. It's probably not quite doing these images justice, but they're all pixel sharp and absolutely lovely. We've actually got a much older and sort of probably slightly more feminine looking Aurora from the 10-11-year-old, possibly younger heroine we've got at the start. I've not spoiled this game for myself, so I don't know whether Aurora is going to sort of grow older over the course of the game. Maybe this is a later Aurora that we see, and we can see some sort of other slightly more artistically styled here. That's almost a sort of ballerina Aurora, but these are very much more sort of an older version of Aurora than the younger person we certainly see in most of the artwork. And indeed, whether that be Queen Aurora or similar, you can see that this actually looks like, if not an in-game shot, it's very close to the in-game art style. We can see the young Aurora here, a slightly older version of, could be Aurora's mother, but it's the same dress pattern, so maybe it's an older Aurora, and then also a sort of slightly more lost or dark Aurora there potentially as well. Chapter 2, Friends. And again, this is probably a tad of a plot spoiler. That seems to be focusing okay there. We've got our Reba Cheap style Voyage of the Dawn Treader Mouse. For all of you Prince Caspian or Narnia fans there, that's what he reminds me of. And then, yeah, some quite odd looking things, sort of shamanic looking things, some sort of mushroomy, gnomey looking people here as well. And also here, I'm sure that these will be some characters in the story as well. So, it's, when I say Ghibli, it's very sort of, it's got a Ghibli-ish sort of aura to all of the art. Ooh, Reginald's father, and apparently he's playable. We've got this mouse in the top right here. Got an actor, got a mayor of somewhere. We seem to have sort of a mouse style town perhaps that we get stuck into. You've seen this guy in a few bits of the art as well, this kind of, he's sort of almost a man in the moon kind of fisherman, so I'd be interested to see where these folks come in as well, this sort of style of, they've got these hats with these lights hanging over the top. Enemies, we've got a fairly sinister, postureless looking kind of spider there, and I don't know, he sort of reminds me a bit of the Ents, this guy, the Ents from Lord of the Rings or similar. He's definitely some kind of tree woodland creature shooting away. And some more foresty looking enemies there. A tree stump demon, actually, you won't be able to spot, but that tree stump demon is the illustration there. There is a Dark Queen that we are fighting against. I've no doubt that this is the Dark Queen herself. Sort of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Dark Queen-esque. We're looking at crow feathers, a very sort of black purpley kind of colour here. And then a few different artistic styles, and this kind of sort of shroud of feathers that we can see from the front here that you can maybe just see on the side there as well. And then we've got what look to me like dungeon monsters, people with axes, a nice skeleton there, something that's sort of vaguely crocodile-crocolish looking there. And then we jump into the last bit of the art book, so we've got environments. And again, I know that my webcam is slightly oversaturated, so again the colours are a little bit darker. We've got some beautiful looking art here as well of all of the various levels. We have sort of very much a fungus sort of natural looking town, castles in the sky, the under sort of ground kind of caverns, that looks like a nice tavern or inn or something similar. And then finally sort of the very mysterious looking deities in terms of a very grand looking interior, perhaps a temple or a throne or something similar. So that is our little art book in our Child of Light Deluxe Edition. Not a huge amount to go. All of you internet optimists, I've already used these codes. You're more than welcome to try and tap them in if you like, but they've already been redeemed on my Uplay account. So you get the Golem pack here for this Golem style enemy. Maybe you can skin up Aurora with or one of your party members with a Golem style aesthetic there. And then you've got the Dark Aurora pack. I'm just going to try and zoom in a little bit more. You can see that Aurora there is. Let's wait for the focus. I should have got the focus button, my apologies. Aurora basically in a darker sort of skirt and dress ensemble and sword too. So, got that. You do of course have your code for the game. Obviously this is a collector's edition where you grab the extra bits and then you just have a code that you can download. So you need Uplay because this is the PC edition, so you can grab that from there. And last but not least, you have your little buddy Keyring. Now I need to remember this guy's name. Effectively, in Child of Light, you can play two-player if you're playing on the same console or playing on PC. And this is Igniculus himself. Now, Igniculus is kind of the little fire spirit who travels with you. And Igniculus is actually sort of a playable character in Child of Light. One person can control Aurora, the heroine herself, and of course you party up as you go. I'm just going to remove this tab here because I want to be able to turn this chap and illuminate him. And nice little keyring there, sort of reasonable quality. I'll bring him up to the camera there, and you can actually turn him on, but he's got quite a significant role in Child of Light because you can actually control him. So one of you as Igniculus can hover over enemies. When you're over enemies, you can do things like slow down their casting speed, you can debuff them. If you hover over friendly characters in your party, you can heal them as well. So he's much more than sort of just a sidekick. He can do a whole bunch in the game too. I'm just unscrewing this. Right, okay, I've got a battery in there. That's clearly not how you turn it on. Physicist, I am not. There we go. A nice little turn there, and we can see that you can lumi up your Igniculus there. So there we have it. And that is the contents of our Child of Light Deluxe Edition. The game really looks beautiful. I would absolutely try and give it a go. What I will do is, if you're curious about taking a look and seeing what Child of Light actually looks like, what you might be spending your pennies on, it's of course available on PC, PS4, I believe, Xbox One and 360 at some point too, and PS3. So you can pretty much grab it for whatever format you're hopefully playing a game on. That is it for this unboxing. Let's keep it short and sweet. FailCraft Casts, we do a bunch of content on PC games amongst other things. It would be fantastic if you can check us out. If you'd like to check us out, you can do so at youtube.com/FailCraftCasts. Here on Twitch at twitch.tv/FailCraftCast. We're on Twitter, of course, at FailCraftCasts also. And last but not least, the website is failcraft.org. We do learn to play videos and really play a bunch of games for fun. Love playing alongside people and try and learn a little something while we're messing up and being a generally incompetent gamer. So thank you very, very much for tuning in, and hope that you can spot something else sometime soon.